Whew. Here. All right. Anthony, my boy. We finally made it. It's about time. Whew. Oh, let's figure out where these are gonna be, like, as far as, man, I'm on fire, man. This workout this morning and everything, I'm burning up. Plus it's Arizona, and we die in Arizona. Hey, Roofstone, you ready for this? Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm forgetting something. All right, I'm back. We're doing it, Peter. You're doing it. Dude, Arizona, it's so friggin' hot. Like, I got up at like early, took my stepson to school, and then came home, and I was like, I've got like an hour to get my workout done. And so I blasted through that workout in my garage. In Arizona, it's hot. For those of you who are in Celsius, it's gonna hit over 40 degrees Celsius sometime here in the summer. So, Standpoint, what's up? Dude, I know, right? Wrath of the Lich King. You gotta... They have to announce it. They have to. If they don't, they would be missing out on a great opportunity. I'm so excited for it, man. And my buddy Anthony and I, we've been like playing TBC so much over the past like 2 weeks. It's been just absolutely insane. I'm so excited. The moment they announce Lich King, I'm gonna be like, we have arrived. Because let me tell you guys a little story, okay? So back in 2010, I was raiding ICC with my brother and our guild, and for weeks we were just progressing and progressing and progressing, and we got all the way, let me turn the mic down, it's a bit hot. Okay, we got all the way to the Lich King, and we fought him for a month, in an entire month, every Wednesday. And finally, when it came down to it, like, Wednesday night raid was gonna happen, I was like, hey, I'm not gonna be there because I'm going to a comedy club. So I went to the comedy club, I came back, my brother called me and said, hey, we beat the king tonight. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. He goes, so don't worry, we'll go back and do it again. And we never went back and did it again. So my guild beat the king when I wasn't there, the one night I wasn't there. So to me, this is a chance to redeem myself 12 years later and go back and kill the Lich King. Maybe not exactly the way he was, because there might be some slight changes, but at least close enough, you know? I'm super excited. Yeah. Standpoint, I assume you're gonna go DK if you're talking about level 55, because that's where you're hinting to me. Now, I think if I'm correct, correct me if I'm wrong, but DKs were completely broken. Let me adjust the there, that's probably better. Yeah, it's better focus. DKs were broken the moment they released, and then like the next patch they really fixed them and tuned them up, if I'm correct, right? How much time do we got? We got 14 minutes. Let me go find the website for this glorious, it better be a good announcement, I swear. All right, let's look up WoW announcement, expansion reveal. Yeah, it works. Okay, we'll go over to that in a bit. Blood DK specifically were just a nightmare, dude. I remember when it launched that we were seeing 5-man DKs running into Blood Furnace and stuff like that, and just slaughtering everything, like blood DKs. They were just self-healing. It was so cool. It was so fun to watch. Yeah, Yeah, that's what I heard, Anthony, is like we're gonna get the tuned up and everything patch, which I'm fine with. That's cool. Because you know that you and I are running paladins and they're gonna be amazing. Amazing. I can't wait to just have a simplified paladin, because right now I don't know about you, but I'm struggling a bit leveling with a paladin. Like it's a little frustrating. Yeah, for explicit, but the whole anxiety I see in the fan base today, man. Yeah, it really is. This one is, yeah, you're right. We always do say make or break, but after what we just went through with Shadowlands, this is really a make or break. And the amount of time that World of Warcraft has been out, this is a make or break. Like, I'm sure if it broke, it would still continue. It's still got a big enough fan base for it. But as far as it being fun and like addicting, and we want to wake up in the morning, get our work done, and play, that's what we want. That's what we need. We need that drive, that go-to kind of thing, you know? I want that. I want that. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get on and not feel like I'm doing a chore. That's what I want. But yeah, but either way, I'm playing Wrath, and they have got to, if they don't announce it, oh man, I'll lose it. I'll lose it on stream right now. I'll freaking go crazy. So it looks like they're gonna have a I guess they're gonna launch this reveal like 10 minutes early or something like that. I'm not too sure. I know, right? Like, I remember back in the glory days, when you'd wake up and all you could think about was getting on, checking the auction house, going out and just leveling. And right now, like my Anthony and I, we're leveling characters. We got, Anthony showed me this new add-on called Rested XP. So go to restedxp.com. Worth every penny. Every penny. We're leveling faster than the average player because this thing, it's kind of like Azeroth Autopilot. The guy who did that doesn't do it anymore, but it just guides you, so we can watch movies and TV shows while we're just leveling our characters, and it's fun, chill, relaxing, exactly what I want. Like when I want my downtime, I just want to level characters and stuff like that. So let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna reload this. I'll pop up on the screen. Ah, the countdown. 10 minutes 55 seconds, and we start this glorious adventure. I'm so excited. I will agree, standpoint, that it's I'm more excited for a Wrath announcement. Dragonflight will be cool, and I hope they give it, even if they just say here's Dragonflight, yay, that's great. And if they go, oh, one more thing, and then they put a little teaser of Wrath Classic, that's all that would be perfect. You don't need to give a date, you don't need to give details, you do what Bethesda did and just said, oh, Elder Scrolls 6, leave it at that. Although that was a long time ago and they haven't given anything since, but at the time it was perfect. It's just what the audience needed. Oh, you always focus on the game? Yeah, I've actually haven't had a problem like just watching. I've been watching the show 1883. It's the prequel to Yellowstone. I won't watch Yellowstone. I'm not interested. I know everyone's like, oh, it's amazing, but it's not for me. But 1883 is really good. I've been really enjoying this. I've been watching that, trying not to watch it off playtime. So, because I want to save it, you know? So, yeah, just make it official. That's all. Just make it official. Just say, we're doing it. That's all I want. Because then everyone's going to come back to TBC. Everyone's going to be pumping out their characters. I mean, I posted a short yesterday. I was like, hey, and Anthony told me about this, but the Dark Pearl Pass went on sale 50% off. Why would they do that? Because Wrath, you know, get people back into play. You think they'll do Covenants again? Really? I don't know. Rooston. I don't. I mean, if they did do Covenants, I think they would. Yeah, they could base it off like the different aspects, maybe. But I man, I'm not gonna say yes or no just because I don't want to like I don't want to, you know, jinx anything and say, yeah, let's do covenants again. Like I said before, I think I said the last night's stream, they need to break away from the system that they're in right now. Yeah, like a different aspect, you know. Yeah, all the different dragons. Like, how many people would? I wonder if they did do covenants related to dragons or the aspects. I wonder if the black dragonflight would actually be a pickable covenant because they're considered dark. You know, you got Netherian and stuff like that, and I'm not sure if that would. I'm not sure if Blizzard would really go that route for you because, you know, tons of people will be like, I'm going for the black dragonflight, blah, 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 blah. So, question is, which one would be Hufflepuff? So, and no offense to you Hufflepuffs out there. It's just, it's very forgotten in the Harry Potter world. Dragonflights, yeah. I don't know if, man. Okay, whoa, check this out. Oh, come on. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this over here. I gotta show you guys this. This is kind of crazy. Let me see if I can bring this up here really quick. I'm just gonna pull up. I'm just gonna make a new display capture. And my music stopped. There. I want music. All right, let me go ahead and get this up here. 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna shrink this down because it's giant. My monitor's so flippin' huge. You know what? Let's just blow it up. Screw the background. We don't need it. We just want to watch this, right? Yeah, but look at that. There's this. I guess it really doesn't mean anything. There's just these different colored W symbols. So one of them was like blue, and I thought it was like the announcement for Wrath. I was like, yes, let's do it. Oh man, let's see if the audio is coming through for this really quick. I'm gonna build the music for a second here. That is not. No, that is not coming through. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm gonna fix this right now. I want to make sure you guys are able to hear it and everything like that. I got this. Alright, this should fix it. Yeah. Okay, we'll mute that for now. Oh man. Yeah, green Hufflepuff. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Oh man. Is it the color of Dragonflight? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see that as a possibility. I don't want to believe that's going to happen, though. Which color came out? We got the bronze Dragonflight. You got the green, whatever that is. You got Alexstrasza red. And, oh, yeah. So this one's obviously like a purple-red expansion. Shadowlands was like a light blue and white, I guess. Or in white. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I just want Wrath. Yeah, I think that Blizzard needs to break away from their standard, you know, format that they've got. It was really cool in Legion. With you had the class halls, that was awesome. The legendary weapons, I should have played more Legion. I just should have, but I didn't. But when they continued with like Azurite power and all this stuff, and now people are talking about there's gonna be aspect power. Oh my gosh, we're done. We're done. They have to have something new. I think that's the make or break it part. They gotta have something new that's gonna, you know, get people excited about it. So. Something that doesn't feel like a chore. And, you know, Anthony and I have talked about this a lot in the past, but like, you know, they have their system of like, here's the system we have. and then they gate it, and then when the subscriptions pull back, then they ungate and they go, now you can do all of this with the same stuff that we've given you, and then the subscriptions come back. So they need to find a way to stop doing that crap and just say, here's what we have. And the people that complain about things in the alpha don't block that, or they say this is great. They say we say this is awesome, and they go, good, we know what's awesome, let's gate that. That is a horrible way to treat your community, you know. We got sort of repeating theme going on. Legion, TBC, Shadowlands, Wrath of the Lich King, Dragonflight, Kata. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Huh. Interesting. That would be very, very interesting. Do you really think they're gonna go Kata Classic though? Because I don't know. I don't think it was that popular. I remember the night Kata came out. I had pre-ordered it at GameStop, and I was tired, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go pick it up. I'll pick it up tomorrow. But then I was like, I'm missing out on this moment of history. So I got up out of bed and I drove down and picked it up. I could have waited, and I came home and just went back to sleep. I spent like the next 2 months doing all the quests and all the new zones and everything. And I liked how linear it was, but after that, I didn't feel like I had anything to do, you know? So, it was just kind of sad. But, you know, we'll see. I mean, I don't think that they would go any farther, because I know that they did take survey with a lot of big-time streamers like Asmongold and everybody, where Blizzard contacted them and said, gave him like a survey, like how much would you like to play Wrath of the Lich King Classic? And so even though they knew it was popular, a survey was still done. So I'm pretty sure that if a survey went out for Kata Classic, I'm not sure how, you know, popular it would be or whatever. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Azeroth changing the face of the land did make a big change to the feel of it. But I wouldn't be opposed to them changing Azeroth again for Dragonflight. No, let me get rid of this border. It doesn't need to be here. There we go. That's better. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to them you know, breaking apart Azeroth again. That'd be really good. So yeah. All right, Brucestone. This will be fun to talk about afterwards, definitely. Oh, wow. Oh, dude. If they steal stuff from Ascension servers, dream, dude. Ascension is so good. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this started. We're going to talk about Ascension stuff later on, definitely, if that's the case. All right. Get this going. Woo! 6 seconds. Let's go. Wrath Classic, let's go. All right. Give me something good. Oh.
For the Alliance!
Why do I have subtitles on like that? We don't need that. If we do... There.
For Azeroth!
Please be something good.
Hi everyone, I'm John Haidt, General Manager for Warcraft, and with me today are my friends Ian Hazacostas, who is the Game Director for World of Warcraft, and Holly Longdale, who leads up the production team for WoW Classic. I really appreciate you tuning in. I know we're really excited to be able to give you updates on what's happening in World of Warcraft. But first, I want to thank our community for all the feedback you've given us this year, and especially our community council. You've helped shape and influence the updates that we've done recently and what you're going to see in the upcoming year.
I mean, really, for Shadowlands in particular, the story of the last 9 months or so of this expansion is all about the community, and it's shaped by what we've been hearing from them, and us realizing as a team that we just collectively needed to do a better job of making sure the community felt heard. And so that led us to the changes we made in 9.1.5, but also really re-examining some of the assumptions and foundations of World of Warcraft about things like character investment and mains versus alts, or how catch-up should work, or the appropriate role of friction in our systems. And I think 9.1.5 represented a step in the direction of letting players have more freedom to play World of Warcraft the way they want to play it. And we really built our Eternity's End content update from the ground up around those principles.
What are some of the things that the community said that influenced your decisions for Eternity's End?
Things like the method and pacing of acquisition of the Covenant Legendary item, tons of tuning, and I think every step of the way, we were listening to make sure that we were carrying forward those lessons learned in the course of 9.1.5 into Eternity's End and beyond.
So WoW Classic really came about because of the community.
Yeah, they continue to help guide and support us as Classic evolves.
World of Warcraft has always been about the world and the players that inhabit it. And we are, in a lot of ways, curators and caretakers of that journey and of that experience. And so once this Classic community formed and grew, we had to listen to them.
It's this tide of listening to the community and paying attention to what is a good experience for our players now. And where we really saw a sea change in this idea is with our Season of Mastery round, which is a Season of Fresh Start Classic. And initially we were talking about it like it was going to be like a fresh start. Let's try this experiment in a season. It'll be about a year long. And then when the community found out about it, we started seeing this upswell.
Yeah, the team just took that idea and ran with it, and
They didn't run with it
turned,
enough.
what started out as a small community project into this Soul of Iron system that became a centerpiece of Season of Mastery and a whole new opt-in hardcore mode that we've seen communities built around.
Yep.
Lots of, thrilling victory and painful defeat.
5 hours. I made it 5 hours.
Yeah. And it continues, like Burning Crusade Classic.
He quit.
We wanted to balance the Paladin seals between Horde and Alliance, so we made an addition there. We wouldn't have gotten there without the community's input.
So, influence the community. You've got another update and pretty significant controversial change for this.
Yeah, cross-faction play coming in 9.2.5. Which is on our public test ROM now as a big centerpiece.
Cross-faction. You're breaking with a 17-year tradition.
Yeah, it's something. It was not an easily made decision by any means, and I think this is another one of those areas where really we try to take to heart community feedback and requests and ask ourselves as a team whether there's a way to accommodate such an earnestly held desire and still feel like we're being true to the roots of the game. I think players desire to play with their friends who might prefer a different faction, or to play with the faction that they more closely identify with, even though their raid group is elsewhere.
It's really important for me. I play a lot of alts, and I love absorbing the story for each race, and having that ability to play with all of my friends across factions is fantastic.
At the end of the day, the battle cry is for the Horde. It's not against the Alliance. It's not death to the Alliance. It's about pride in one's faction, and I think there's a way to preserve that and even strengthen that while giving players the ability to make the same choice we've seen the greatest heroes make time and time again.
I can't wait to do this. I'm seeing a lot of my friends that I never knew had a max level character in the other faction suddenly come out of the woodwork.
And then, with these cross-faction groups, many of them are going to be diving into something new that we're doing to kind of cap off Shadowlands, a Season 4. Kind of a remix, a bit of a greatest hits, revisiting all of our raid zones across the expansion, bringing in some familiar older favorites into the Mythic Plus rotation. And we recognize this is kind of a closing chapter, a little bit of a send-off to Shadowlands. As everyone gets ready for what happens next, and what will come next, want to give a fun new challenge for everyone to sink their teeth into.
Really cool stuff for modern WoW players. I'm super excited about the gear upgrades that you're going to give me and the chance to go back and play some of those awesome raids.
There's a lot to explore. Very exciting.
For our next adventure in World of Warcraft, we're going to go back to Azeroth. We're going to a space with high fantasy. I mean, our fans have asked for this for a long time. This has been kind of the foundation of much of the lore of WoW. So without further ado, let's watch the cinematic.
Here we go. If it's not Dragonflight, I'd be like a freak. Oh. Oh.
The world has been sundered.
Okay, there we go. Alex
It
Strasser.
cries out in pain. We must go to its aid. We entrust our ancestral home to you, the Watchers.
Dragon Isles? Yeah? So that's Titan technology, right?
Let the land slumber, hidden even from our own eyes. You will feel our return in the waking of the land. Then, you must light the beacon of Tierhold, lest the path home be lost to us forever.
How would you like to wake up and half your face is missing? That would suck. Poor guy. Mouth is gone. Warcraft, Rise of the Lava Murlocs. that'd be awesome. Do a nice transition. Oh, was he like, the Tower of Tierhold is broken, so I have to climb to the top and like push them together, I guess? Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. Reach! There you go. Still got them gains. Music really good. I regret nothing.
Is healing, but her fate is yet uncertain. Together, we shall be Azeroth's protectors once again. Here, the new age of dragons shall begin.
Dragonflight! All right. Pretty cool. All right, so that's confirmed.
Dragons!
Dragons.
This is so cool.
No one saw it coming.
No one saw it coming. Carefully
one
kept
saw it
secret.
coming.
But seriously,
That's funny.
what did we just see there?
The awakening of the Dragon Isles, the return of dragons, the dawn of a new age. Right, we've seen Rathian searching for his father's legacy, searching for the Dragon Isles. There's a reason why he hasn't been able to find them until now.
The beacon going off, is that summoning the dragons?
It is removing the concealment that had hidden the Dragon Isles from the world, but also beckoning the dragons back urgently in a time of need.
I assume pretty good variety of locales within the Dragon Isles?
Yes, the Dragon Isles, as kind of standard for WoW expansion, consist of 5 zones, 4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone that we'll get to in a second.
Can you talk a little bit about
Interesting.
how
New
the
starter
team
zone.
found ways to thread the dragon aspects throughout the environments?
The Dragon Isles are a place that is lush and primal, bursting with elemental energy. As Azeroth herself reawakens, those primal forces are expressed throughout the environment, whether it's magma activity, volcanic activity, whether it's the icy wastes of the Azure Span, and each one of those has a connection to a dragonflight that we've seen before. And it's going to be an amazing place for players to arrive at and explore.
All right, I'm going to ask.
Yes, okay, so
Can I be a dragon?
let's start getting into some features here and what Dragonflight
here we
means
go.
for you as well as
See if this is a make or break kind of thing.
So first off, yes, we have an all-new playable race, the Drakthir race.
Drakthir.
This is a Draken and
Oh,
Draconic
that looks
race,
pretty cool.
but dragons in Warcraft
Oh, that's pretty
have
sweet.
the ability to take on a humanoid form.
What classes can they be?
They have unique abilities as literally a dragon. That doesn't quite fit any of our existing classes. And so what we're doing is this is not just a new race, but it's also a new class. You know, adding a new race to World of Warcraft, and not just an allied race, is something that we don't do lightly. But telling this expansion, this story, so focused around dragons, felt like the perfect time for it. So if you are a Drakthir, you will be the Evoker class. Drakthir can only be Evokers, Evokers can only be Drakthir. And the reason why only a Drakthir could be an Evoker is that an Evoker is really combining the ability to call upon the magic of the different aspects with the unique physical gifts that a Drakthir has, the ability to actually take flight and do an Onyxia-style strafing deep breath over the battlefield, land on the other side, knock everyone back with a wing buffet, and then unleash your magical abilities.
Yes, please.
Evoker.
The Evoker has 2 specializations. They're a hybrid of either range DPS or healer. And they wear
Yay,
mail
healer.
armor. We figured, with the new hero classes we've added over the years, we have enough melee, we don't need more of those.
Yep.
And also probably don't need any more leather wearers.
The raid leaders are going to love you for that.
Exactly. This is definitely a hero class. And so that means that, like the Death Knights before them or Demon Hunters, they will be starting level 58. And then they're going to have a new starter zone. So they're going to have a slightly different journey into the Dragon Isles as opposed to the rest of us that are sailing there from other parts of Azeroth.
Can you talk
Cool.
a little bit about the customizations? Like what is going to be able to identify my Drakthir character?
Basically anything and everything. Skin color, hair color, jewelry,
Oh,
tattoos,
wow.
other adornments. You can make this character the expression of
That's
your
actually pretty
identity
cool.
in Azeroth.
New zone, new class,
Yep.
new race. Well, tell us about some of the system updates.
Okay, this is it.
Of course, the new expansion brings with it, new systems, new features. I think in recent expansions, one of the things we've tended to do is really have these deep features that were closely tied to a specific expansion that would then get left behind as we moved on. And we've heard loud and clear from players that, it's kind of a bummer to start off every new expansion by leaving a large part of your character behind, by leaving a large part of your progression behind. So
Yes.
this time around, what we're doing is really pouring all of our energy into permanent revamps, overhauls, and improvements to World of Warcraft's core systems.
Yes,
Things like
permanent.
our progression systems. In this case, our talent system is something that we want to completely revamp. We want to take a look at our UI. We want to take a look at professions.
Yes,
So with
professions.
the talent revamp and the arrival of Classic, did you learn anything about how our talents work?
I think seeing a new generation of players play with those talents and work through those talent trees really underscored some of the things that, frankly, we lost when we shifted to the Mists of Pandaria style talents and beyond. A big piece of that was some of just the granularity, the feeling of getting a level and spending a point to customize your character to make yourself a bit better in some specific way. But also, that sense of hybridity that you could have. That's something that we've largely lost. And so the new talent system avoids directly pitting player power throughput choices directly against those sort of utility hybrid choices, because we know that there's always a right outcome there. And we also understand that there's a lot of strength in the flexibility of the modern talent system to let players customize their talents for a particular encounter or for dungeons versus PvP, and we don't want to lose any of that.
So John, UI?
Oh my God. Yes, I got this 30-inch monitor trying to keep track of where I am on the map, all my buffs, and over here, what's going on in chat. It has literally made my eyes go like this. So,
And you're not alone in that. We've made a lot of incremental changes and additions over the years, but really this is a revamp, this is an overhaul. And so we're excited to really modernize the look and feel while staying true to the origins of World of Warcraft. At the same time, we're not looking to take away the sort of power user customization there. Add-ons are still there if you want them, but we want a much better default out-of-the-box experience for all players, new and old alike.
and can I reduce elements, remove elements? If I want to explore the world and see the beauty of Azeroth.
When it comes to specific elements, as much as possible, we want to let players choose what to show and what to hide so that they can control it themselves.
You mentioned professions. I have a critical question about this.
Please, something good.
Can I wear a chef's hat?
Yeah, I knew it.
Who cares about that? Come on.
Our approach to professions in Dragonflight is really all about delivering on fantasy and identity as a crafter. And so if you want to be a serious blacksmith, if you want to be a great leather worker, we want to deliver the ability to invest time and energy into that, become a master crafter, be able to make items that are in demand, interact with the community.
Yeah.
One of the big pieces that we want to do to support that is a new work order system to have a bit more convenience than just spamming trade chat all day. But if you are someone, you're not yourself a blacksmith, but you have a bunch of mats and you want them forged into a great sword, you can put that work order up, list your mats, offer a commission, and a skilled blacksmith can come along and make you the weapon of your dreams.
That's cool. I
I
like
think we
that.
left out one thing though. You can be a Drakthir, go to Dragon Isles. Can I have a dragon?
What's the fantasy of dragons if not soaring over the lands? And so we're
We have
really
dragons.
excited to introduce a feature that we're calling dragon riding. It's dynamic with everything from momentum to dive bombs, the ability
Coy missed
to
a little bit.
just sort of build that
We'll talk
speed
about
up
it.
and feel the world rushing past you in a
Whoa.
way that should be much more exciting than traditional flight that we've made available in the past, but that's also available for players through a customizable dragon mount right from the start.
Okay, that's
So-
cool.
This is a skill you learn over time, right, to become an awesome
Now
dragon
you didn't get it
rider.
right away.
Yes, you'll be able to sort of upgrade
Oh, never mind.
aspects of your flight, but you will have this new form of
That's
flight
cool.
from the start. And the Dragon Companion that you have is, of course, very thoroughly customizable, which is a new thing for us for mounts.
Cool.
This is not just a generic dragon that everyone has, but a drake that is yours. What do you want its scales to look like, horns, the shape of its head, other attachments, armor pieces, and more. Take your pick.
This is so cool.
All right.
So yes, the Dragonflight expansion is going to see players leveling to 70, going to the all-new continent of the Dragon Isles, which consists of 5 zones, 4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone for our Drakthir class, as well as a range of systems revamps, such as a new talent system,
That looks great.
an overhaul and update to our UI, and an entirely fresh look at professions
Thank goodness.
with more depth than ever before. Also getting around the Dragon Isles is going to come in the form of dragon riding, which lets you customize and upgrade your own mount so that you can fly in a sense from the start. And of course, as with any new expansion, we have
feels
a new
nice.
set of dungeons, a raid, and much more to come.
We also have an alpha that will be starting up in the future.
Check out our website for more information and keep an eye out for those opt-in signups if you want to help us test out Dragonflight and give us even
Yeah.
more feedback to make it better.
We do have a deep dive that follows this, so please stay around. Classic players, we haven't forgotten
Thank
about
you.
you.
Yes, here it
You could
is.
probably guess where we're going to go next. One of the all-time favorite expansions for World of Warcraft. Let's watch the cinematic.
Yes, I do it. Yes. Woo! Yes. This is it.
Did you think we had
Ooh!
My king yet.
Yogg Saron. Oh, we're going to. I forgot about Yogg.
For all the lives you stole.
My son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name
Arthas.
Arthas. When my days have come to an end, you shall be king.
Yes! That's... Oh, it's this year. Okay, good. I was like, don't say 23. Please don't say 23. Yes! Woo! Let's
It's just
go!
incredible, isn't it?
Oh,
Every
that's
time
so
I
good.
see the cinematic, I get chills. No pun intended, I get chills. As you saw, Wrath of the Lich King
Was that-
Classic is coming
was that
this
Wrath
year.
picture in the back
It
there
brings back
before?
so many memories. When you see that cinematic, what do you remember from Wrath of the Lich King?
Anytime you want to talk about undead frozen dragons, how can you not go back to Sindragosa as the source?
Dude.
That was the first expansion I played with my youngest son. So I can remember on that platform, black goo and chunks of ice falling off and having to repeat that battle with the Lich King. But when we finally downed him, it was such an incredible moment.
Yeah.
He jumped up out of his room and I jumped up out of my office. We're like, yeah, did it. So it's a very lasting tale for me.
So as you know, with this expansion, you will, in pre-patch, be able to play the Death Knight. They will start at level 55.
Yep.
You don't have to have a high-level character to make a Death Knight, so everyone will be able
Wow.
to make one.
We're excited to give players some time before Wrath officially launches to get geared up and ready to jump into
Yeah.
Northrend with everybody else.
And there are so many zones and areas to explore
Oh,
in
man.
Northrend. And I want us to talk about some of our favorites. So for me, Grizzly Hills has a very special place in my heart. The music was some of the best I've experienced in World of Warcraft.
I still make my way all the way up to Storm Peaks to try and find the time-lost Protodrake and have yet to get it.
I've got to say Dragonblight. The wide open nature of the zone, Wormrest Temple in the center of it, it's an unforgettable expansion as both a developer and a player and kind of making that transition from one to the other.
Now let's talk about some changes.
Okay.
So one thing we looked at is Dungeon Finder, and it feels like how we envision Classic, Dungeon Finder is not a good fit for our community.
That was kind of the first step that may have eroded some of that social fabric. Now, as people have gone through the experience of going back to vanilla, rebuilding those groups, relying on each other, not wanting necessarily a random participant just to show up and then leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
But today, you can do that in Shadowlands. You'll be able to do that in Dragonflight. It's a self-selected group of people who specifically want that different experience.
Yes.
Let's make sure that's what we continue to give them.
That leads right into arena teams in Burning Crusade Classic. So we listen to the community and we remove that because individual rating is preferable and a better experience for them than arena teams. Also, with Wrath of the Lich King, Barbershop, which allows you to customize your character. We're going to be adding a few more options that were not existing when Wrath launched. But also there's another side of this where we are not going to charge a real money fee. It was a paid character customization fee, right?
Yeah.
It seems the right thing to do, that just be available in-game for gold and
Yeah,
we
that's-
add
that's
more
great.
options to it, right?
It's sort of like spell batching in a sense. There's a lot of technical advancements, and it's not about the philosophy of what makes classic classic and what brings people together. It's just what's the better experience, and let's not artificially restrict something that we can provide a better version of just for the sake of nostalgia. And we're happy to say this is one of those cases.
So, Wrath, the level cap's being increased to level 80, so we'll be introducing a level 70 boost so that players who want to get in with their friends or just explore Northrend right away will be able to do that.
Controversial,
You
but
can't
we'll
apply
talk
it to
about
a Death
that.
Knight, but you will be able to use it otherwise. And of course, we have Inscription, a whole new profession, so we're really excited about that. Yeah, and as we continue this road to Wrath, we're going to be looking to getting a lot more feedback on beta, and we'll make changes as we need to.
Such an exciting time to be playing World of Warcraft. We have the return of the Wrath of the Lich King for classic fans, and taking us somewhere new with Dragonflight. We're so excited to be able to bring these adventures to you. Don't forget, there's a deep dive on Dragonflight where you're going to get a lot more information. Thank you so much for spending this time with us, and we'll see you in Azeroth.
And we'll see you in Northrend.
And in the Dragon Isles.
Okay, so we're doing a deep dive. Well, we'll just...
Hi there.
push through
Welcome
this.
to the Dragonflight Deep Dive. I'm Steve Denuser.
And I'm Taryn Gregory. Starting it
Taryn
off
Gregory.
here, we're going to talk about the setting and the story of Dragonflight.
We've got this great expansion, exciting pre-render trailer that everyone just watched. So let's talk about the setting for Dragonflight, the Dragon Isles.
Dragon Isles have been known for a long time in Warcraft history as a mysterious place where the dragons came from long ago, but we never knew much more than that.
We're going to this place that is kind of the broodlands of all the Dragonflights, the place where they nested, where they built their civilization. The Dragon Isles was the center of the dragon's kingdom when the world was young and the mortal races were just starting to form kingdoms of their own. But when the Legion invaded for that War of the Ancients, that sundering that resulted from the explosion of the Well of Eternity,
Right, the
literal
Maelstrom.
world.
Literal sundering of the continents of Azeroth.
And because of the breaking of the world, that magic kind of drained away and the land went dormant. So they had to leave the Dragon Isles behind. And as we saw in the pre-render, they left behind some Titan Watchers to look over the land. And when someday they hoped that elemental energy would resurge once again and draw the dragons home and reestablish their kingdom.
And that's when the message goes out to the flights and they feel it in their bones.
Now it's the time for the sky to light up with the colors of the aspects once again, and for Alex Straza and the others to come home. But the land has changed a lot in all these thousands of years they've been away, and some very old threats have awakened as well.
We're looking into the culture of dragons as they exist in Warcraft.
Dragons, as we know them today, were very different in the early past, the early history of Azeroth. They were much more primitive, much more savage, what we now know as proto-dragons.
And then some of the dragons were empowered to become the aspects. The green flight, red flight, blue flight, bronze flight, black flight, each with unique powers, each with the ability to protect the world in different ways. These pillars of draconic power appointed to defend Azeroth from threats within and without.
Dragons used that power both for good, in the case of most of the aspects, but also for nefarious reasons in the case of the Black Dragonflight led by Neltharion, who would become Deathwing.
And what we will find in Dragonflight is that some of these ancient divisions run deep. And so it begs the question, where do we go from here? If this is an opportunity to reclaim their legacy, to be the protectors, as the cinematic mentioned, that they once were.
To do that, they're going to need the help of our heroes, our players, to come to the Dragon Isles with them and face some of these reawakening challenges, because it's not just that this land is peacefully waiting for the dragons to return and reclaim it. There's those old enemies that have awakened as well.
Yeah.
One of those being a race of kind of elemental half-giants, the Jarradin.
The Dragon Isles isn't just populated by dragons or just by the Jarradin. There's also many other occupants here in the Dragon Isles that have been here either just recently or for a while, including a fan favorite coming back, the Tuskar.
That's going to be
Yeah.
awesome. We've got
Give me
other
a new
cultures there
fishing
as
rod.
well in the Dragon Isles. We're going to find out about a civilization of centaurs that predates the ones that arose on Kalimdor much later,
And some of our favorite characters that we've seen over the last few expansions, such as Rathian.
and whether he's ready to step up into a leadership role, or if there are other alternatives out there that would be better suited to the job of being the aspect of the Black Dragonflight.
I think one thing the players are going to be really excited about this expansion is the new playable race, the Drakthir.
That's right.
And this is something that Neltharion, before he was Deathwing, before he went full crazy world dragon, that he put into motion.
Neltharion saw those primalists that were kind of breaking away from the aspects and what they wanted. And so in those first experiments, he took the essence of dragons, their strength, their nobility, their wisdom, and he combined it with that scrappiness, that adaptability that the mortal races had. And he wanted to use that to create the ideal soldier in his mind, the Drakthir. Exploration is really one of the key themes of this expansion. We're going to be going to this ancient place that the dragons left behind long ago. So we've made these huge zones with all kinds of places to delve into and find little treasures and little secrets tucked away. It's gonna be a lot of fun for players to be exploring these landscapes.
And there's so much architectural history and how clearly aspirational was the kingdom of the dragons and how it lost so much. And the themes of trying to return to that, to try to find your legacy, to try to figure out who you were before everything went awry. But there's questions, thematic questions of what does it mean to be true to your legacy? Are we going to repeat the mistakes of the past?
The dragons have had to learn those lessons just like the mortal kingdoms have had to. And I think that's one of the reasons why the dragons see this now as the time that they have to return and they have to step up once again as protectors of Azeroth. We're helping the dragons because the dragons have helped us in the past too. So by using the Explorers League and the Reliquary together, that allows us to delve into some of that history.
And when I look upon the Dragon Isles in all of its visual splendor, I get so excited for the prospect of a truly Azerothian adventure alongside Calicos, along with Rathian, Ebonhorn, with Ysera's daughter Marithra, as each one of them is trying to find their own flights. I am taken by the exploration and the potential for adventure and just new horizons within this world.
There's going to be old stories from that time past, that history that only the dragons knew for the longest time. We're going to be able to explore that.
It really feels like just a breath of fresh air.
So now we're going to turn things over to some of our colleagues who will take you on that deep dive into the locations and the features of Dragonflight.
I guess more exciting stuff is kind of done, but we'll watch
Hello, I'm
this.
Stephanie.
I'm Josh.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Gary. And we're part of
Gary's
the teams that are building
awesome.
the first two zones that you'll encounter in the Dragon Isles, the Waking Shore and the Onaran Plains. The very first zone in Dragonflight you're going to come to is the Waking Shores. It's wild, untamed land. It's waking up around you too, and the elements are just going crazy.
The art team again has hit it out of the park.
You'll see like a lava mountain flowing in through the beach, giant proto-dragons swooping down, gobbling up members of your expedition.
We have such rife opportunities to show elementals rising up because of the crazy magic that's flying around.
The one of the things I love is just how you get to the Dragon Isles, right? So you're gonna get on your boat in Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and the first thing you do is sail between like the dragon ruin architectures. The boats come right alongside each other. You can jump from one boat to the other and just start causing havoc on the other faction's boat.
For those who love PvP, this is a great opportunity for War Mode.
It's free for all out there. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we're gonna
But
tear
it's
it
okay.
up.
There's an innkeeper on the beach, so that if you're in that situation and you don't want to be in war mode anymore, you can just hop out right there.
The Reliquary and the Explorers League are working together.
The Horde and Alliance are sending an expedition together. It's not the military, it's not the soldiers. This is the scientists, the settlers, exploring this new land. So it's a lot more optimistic tone.
One of my favorite things about the Waking Shores is the Red Dragonflight, led by Queen Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder. They have the mandate of nurturing and protecting all life, which means Horde and Alliance, Gorloks, trolls, everybody. So they take that duty seriously. When the Horde and the Alliance come to the Waking Shores, they want to be there to help guide the people through the new land and welcome them. But they're not the only one in the Waking Shores.
We have the ancestral home of the Black Dragonflight there too, which has fallen on tough times since Deathwing's descent. And so Rathian's coming over to the Isles with us, and he's gonna try and come to terms with the state of the Dragonflight, which is a few loyal Draconids and Dragon Spawn trying to hold their ground.
I can
What
see
can
that.
the future of the Dragonflight be if it's just Rathian? Because it's not just the dragons that are coming back to the Dragon Isles, but also their longtime rival, the Jarden.
I love the Jardins so much. They're half giants that wield the power of magma. And when the Waking Shores and the Dragon Isles went to slumber, they also slumbered. They're back now, and they are ready to raise chaos.
Yeah, they're massive. They're riding giant lava mammoths, parading around, just stomping on your face.
And they were the enemies of the Dragonflight for so long. They fought against the Red Dragonflight, hunted dragons down, and they're really taking this opportunity to rise up. As the Red Dragonflight have the mandate of nurturing life, they don't want to just stomp out the Jarden completely, but they want to make sure that they don't have the power to affect those around them negatively, to make sure they don't go on a rampage and destroy the ecosystem that has been created here.
And so those are awesome things in the Waking Shore, but Steph, there really is only one right answer for the best thing in Waking Shores, right?
What?
This is true. Ducks.
We finally have those webbed feet hooligans in our
that's
game.
great.
We cracked the technology.
They
We've
can
got them
figure
in.
it out. They
Yep.
can fly.
You should be proud.
Thank you.
It's gonna be awesome.
The Onaran Plains come right after the Waking Shores. It's so breathtaking at first glance.
The Onaran plains are big, wide open plains. And the player is going to be constricted a little bit, and then you see this big contrast of a zone. You don't always get that
Wow. Look at that
opportunity, that
detail.
cinematic moment
That
where the
burst,
player
those
can
burst
have a
trees.
framed view when they see this area.
Come out and you got that postcard shot
love
of the
that.
plains. And then you see this giant fire proto-dragon breathing fire and a herd of centaur like harpoon down the proto-dragon and crash into the ground. And the first thing you get to do is go help them kill the proto-dragon. Like, how cool is that?
Who is Onara?
Onara is the wild god of the wind. And she's appeared before as like this big spirit eagle. She's the one who guided the centaur to the Dragon Isles many, many years ago. She blessed them, took their caravan across, and then showed them the plains.
How fun at the beginning of this expansion was exploring the culture of the Centaur.
The centaur are these mighty, awesome hunters that back when they first came to the Dragon Isles, they fought the green dragons all day long. Eventually they realized that we're strong, you're strong, maybe we should stop decimating each other's people. We'll make peace, we'll make an agreement. You guys hang out in the groves and the centaur will hang out in the plains. But now the dragons have been gone for 10,000 years. And the centaur have come so far since then. And they've been here and they've been existing and developing their culture. They all came over as one clan led by the mighty Maruk and Tira, and they founded a new life here. So if you want to get across, you have to follow their rules and their traditions. You have to earn their trust. You are the first outsiders to come in generations upon generations. The centaur might rule the open plains, but the green dragons make their home in the groves. And those groves are absolutely gorgeous.
And how great a job it is that we have where I can take all of this beautiful artwork and build these beautiful fantasy groves, high fantasy.
That looks really
We
good.
want to do lots of things with an open plain and we want to be creative with them. But we're restraining ourselves by letting the zone sing, letting the horizon tell the story. We certainly couldn't have done that in the vanilla WoW.
No, definitely not. The zones are so big and you can see so far, especially in Onaran Plains. So we talked to the engineers and we actually increased that distance.
Wow.
It spurs you on to want to adventure and look through the zone and explore everything.
The interesting thing for me is we have all these conflicts with the dragonflights. There's missing dragons, there's battles, there's so much crazy stuff happening, but that's not really all we're doing. There's so much extra fun activities for people to do. And the greatest thing is that you need to figure out exactly what's going on and help solve all the problems that are just sprouting up everywhere.
We're just really excited to tell a story that's grounded in Azeroth and exploration. There's so much more to talk about. But now we're gonna have some folks talking about the next two zones that players are gonna experience in the Dragon Isles.
Hey, cool. Like, that's great. Get through the zones, you know?
Hello, everyone. My name is Kate.
I'm Christy.
I'm Kate.
I'm Sean. Right?
We're going to talk today about Valdrassus and the Azure Span. So Azure Span is going to be the third zone that players
This looks
adventure
pretty
through,
cool.
and it's one of our biggest zones that we've done in the Dragonflight, maybe even to date.
We knew it was going to be like the largest visual elevation change, and it really started with this great concept art. When we first were taking a look at the design,
That
we
looks like
kept
it'll be a
coming back
raid or
to one of
something.
our favorite Wrath zones, which was Grizzly Hills. And we really wanted to take that, but wowify it more. And I don't know if you've ever been up to the Bay Area, but in the morning, that coastal fog comes in and dips down into the redwoods and that sun shines through. That's really what we wanted to encapsulate with this forest. And not only we have redwoods, but we've got all different types of trees. Eventually, it'll break open into this wide open tundra that's just golden and red, and you'll reach up to another level of elevation where you get to see the snow. The majority of the zone is
That's pretty
covered in
cool.
snow and ice. We have giant frozen waterfalls, ice rivers as far as the eye can see. And Sean, I know in the forest, we can expect our first creatures.
We have a small group that lives there called the Knolls. These Knolls are all throughout the forest in Azure Span. They've made this their home. Some Knolls with strange magic that we're going to find out what exactly that's about. Snow Knolls, or as I call them, the Snolls, up in
like
the
that. That's
winter
great.
area. And then some regular Knolls that are just going to be around the forest area. So then we go into the big open tundra where we meet our second group, The Tuskar.
It's going to be really neat to explore their culture a lot more.
And those kids are adorable. I absolutely love the Tuskar. Honestly, all my downtime's probably just me hanging out with the Tuskar.
So it's been a little while since we've seen them. We remember the Tuskar from Wrath of the Lich King. They're also getting a nice, cool up-res for their models.
Good.
Along with expanding their culture. So there are going to be male Tuskar, female Tuskar, Tuskar kids. So we're going to fight alongside them, which includes help from a certain group of dragons, the blue dragons. We're going to follow the story of Kalagos, our blue dragon buddy from the Kirin Tor, and he's going to be adventuring into Syndragos' archives. It's a giant zone. There's a lot of surprises. When we're done there, we head over to Aldraz's.
Aldraz's.
It's really incredible because you will be going through some of the previous zones and seeing a lot of ruins for the dragon buildings. But when you get to Thaldrazis, everything is perfectly intact. It's beautiful. It's pristine. It is the seat of power for all 5 dragonflights and home of the dragons. It feels that way with the huge vertical mountains. We've got these great cave systems where you may end up finding little dragon hordes.
My favorite dragonflight right now is the Bronze. They've got a really cool area in Thaldrazis, and their magic is time. There's so many cool story hooks that we could dig into there. There's so many cool gameplay
Chromie's
options.
gonna play a huge
and
part
we have
in
a little
this,
bit of an
definitely.
adventure for players. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I can't wait. We really wanted it to feel like their old stomping grounds. One of the really cool features is going to be the main city and player hub for this expansion, Valdrakken. It is a culmination of all of the dragon's efforts to put together what a city would look like. So we ended up having a bunch of really fun small vignettes where you see that the blue dragonflight is hosting a public library, and the red and green dragonflights both have their own separate gardens. We'll also have some convenience services for players, including an auction house in the city.
Nice.
So it'll be really nice if you're looking for more exotic wares.
Nice.
The thing that really sold me on Thaldrazis was the initial concept art we got of Tierhold.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And this is a 10,000-year-old Titan technological marvel. Tierhold has these awesome aqueducts that actually come out from the structure all the way to the city across the valley. And in the cinematic, there's just this amazing shot where you see Alexstrasza swoop under one of them, and there's splashes of water cresting across her wings. So when players are flying around themselves, they get to have their Alexstrasza moment. What an incredible place, and filled with so much history.
Tierhold was built by Tyr. He was a Titan Keeper back in the day who helped the Aspects fight Galakrond. And when they settled on the Dragon Isles, he built this facility. And even though Tyr's gone, the dragons have held him in reverence. But that was 10,000 years ago, and they've let the Titans maintain the place. An incredible amount of history has happened since then. Lights have been nearly wiped out. There have been invasions, betrayals. Aspects have died. And these are the kind of things that leave marks on a society. So now they're all back here, and they're all here together.
As we were designing the zone and the city itself, we're trying to figure out, how do we tell those stories at the same time as making sure that this is a really convenient place for players to go and, go shopping, as they tend to do. So much adventuring happening on the Dragon Isles.
It's so cool.
As a player, you probably don't have your own dragon wings. You are going to learn the art of dragon riding.
It's so vertical, and I'm just excited to dive off the tops of towers and swoop under things.
It's actually one of the things that we're about to learn about next.
Okay, I hope there's more to dragon flying than just cool
Hi, I'm
flying.
Jake. I'm
There has
Andy.
to be something
I'm
more
Kali.
to it.
I'm Graham, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about the Drakthir Evoker, our new race and class coming in Dragonflight.
We're here to talk about not only the Evoker, but also dragon riding, which is our exciting expression into the exploration of the Dragon Isles.
We knew with a dragon-themed expansion, we wanted to let you play a dragon. Not a big dragon, Alexstrasza size. That'd be tough to fit into raids. I'm sorry, Jake. Okay. I know.
Fine.
But a draconic humanoid. So the Drakthir, created by Neltharion.
And like our other hero classes, you get to choose if you want to start on the Horde or Alliance side on character creation.
So let's talk a little bit about the Evoker, the class they can be. What's unique about it is because the Drakthir are created by an aspect, they have the ability to wield the magic of all 5 dragonflights. So Evokers can take advantage of red magic and blue magic and bronze magic.
And to show that, we created a visual, what we call a prismatic effect. This prismatic effect is basically the coalescence of all their energy as they channel it into whatever spell that they're going to cast. You have a red magic spell called Pyre. So when you shoot it out of your mouth, it twirls in the air with all 5 of the Dragonflight's magic as it turns into the red spell before landing on your enemies and exploding and hopefully burning them.
I'll take that one.
Getting that vibe across that they use all 5 was really important to us, but we did want to make sure that each specialization focused on 2, because casting 5 different colors gets a bit messy. So their damage dealer specialization, their first of 2, Devastation, mostly focuses on red and blue magic. Red being very fast and explosive, burning everything with Pyre, whereas blue is more focused and overwhelming. You can shoot a beam of energy out of your mouth to disintegrate one single enemy in front of you.
There's a healer spec called Preservation. The healer spec is going to focus mostly on your green and your bronze magic. So your green is going to be evocative of the Emerald Dream, your growth and your nurturing spells. And then you have your bronze magic, which is going to be more timey-wimey. So you get to heal a wound faster.
So in addition to the visuals and the animation, which all make you feel very powerful, we really wanted the player to have a physical connection to the cast. We have a new type of spell called Empower, where when you actually hold down the button on your keyboard, it charges up the spell. The longer you charge it up, it might do more damage or hit more targets depending on the spell, but it gives you this really physical connection and control that's new for World of Warcraft and I think is feeling really, really good.
We have some great animations. Thank you, Andy, your team.
You love it, Andy.
You feel physical when you're casting your spells.
You can actually fly around the battlefield and cast while you're flying.
Raining fire and death from above. It's great.
In addition to the gameplay, though, another part of feeling draconic is looking like a dragon.
Well, we talk about dragons breathing fire, but you know what's actually fire?
What's actually
These
fire?
customizations.
Oh my goodness.
But no, they're really, really
They're
cool.
awesome.
Because you have both your draconic form and your humanoid form. And
That
the
is pretty
customization options for both of them are amazing.
They're very good.
What about color? Just tell me you
tell
can
us about
change
the
the color.
You can do a lot of matching. So your Visage form can have scales that are the same color as your Drakthir form.
But my favorite, super favorite part of customization for the Visage form, hair.
Yeah.
Because I can actually do this in game.
Yeah.
The tech is here.
We finally did it.
As
that's pretty
players
cool.
make their way through each of the areas of the Dragon Isles, they'll partner up with the Dragonflights to move through the air as they've never done before. You'll notice I did not say flying, because flight has a very specific meaning for World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it does.
And we're talking about something new called dragon riding.
And as the players are honing their dragon riding skills, they're going to get to see all new animations that go along with the different look and feel of the drakes.
We're aiming to shake up
That'll be a little more
movement
fun.
with this new system, providing players with a deeper immersion with forces like momentum and gravity.
We knew that for Dragonflight, we were going to have the opportunity to show players a whole new set of Dragon Isle drakes, completely unique from all the other things they've seen in World of Warcraft.
dive is
And
pretty
so
cool.
we wanted to come up with a movement system that would add that sense of physics, weight, and gravity, like you were mentioning. We knew it was going to take a huge team effort, not just animation, but it was going to take effects. It was going to take the engineering team, who we rely on heavily, and that combined with some new animations really helps to lend that feeling of physics as you move through the air in ways that you haven't before. And the icing on the cake is going to be some really cool effects that we've added on top of all of that. So for example, when you start hitting, maximum velocity, you're going to see contrails coming off the edges of the wings. And then as you do your rolls and spirals, you build up more and more speed. There's going to be some screen effects on the display to indicate that you're reaching maximum velocity, which really adds to the overall kind of immersion and sense of reality.
That's fun.
As players make their way through the Dragon Isles, they'll discover new cosmetic options to fine-tune their Dragon Isle Drake's appearances. Things like snoots, horns, tails, elusive Dragon Isle Drake armor, and more.
That's pretty
Can I have
cool.
spikes?
Definitely.
Okay.
We want to provide players with all new skills to play with, as those who can use their momentum well can reach higher and higher heights, and bring on new, more difficult challenges.
We just have so many new gorgeous
I
options
think if
to
you
choose
embrace
from.
that
and
customization,
I'm
it
just so
becomes
excited
fun. You
for all
have
of
to really
them.
embrace
I'm excited
it,
for the
though.
whole thing. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to work on, but I can't wait to actually get into game, play it with you guys.
I can't wait. I can't wait to fly around Dragon Isles. It's
Yeah.
gonna be great.
Next up, you're going to hear about the talent revamp and the UI changes coming in
Here we
Dragonflight.
go. Talent revamp, guys. This is huge.
Hello, my name is Brian.
I'm Crash.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Laura. We are very excited to share we are finally revamping the WoW HUD UI.
And it is also time for a major revamp to talents and specializations.
I have a big question for the group. How long do you think it took for us to finally revamp the WoW HUD?
My guess is like 15 years.
Close, 18 years.
18 years.
18 years.
Wow.
You know, technology has changed a lot since we made the UI back in 2004. Now you have like bigger monitors, and we have better dev tools to work with. So it makes sense to have the revamp right now.
This is huge.
Also, if you look at the game today, the art evolved beautifully over the years. And if you look at the HUD looks like it got frozen in time.
So when we approached this, we wanted to create a
Why is
layout
it doing
experience that players could customize, move things around, adjust it to fit their needs.
Add-ons today, they do a lot for player customization.
The downside is that not everybody uses them. It's about time that everybody has the opportunity to use them, that they become a part of the base UI.
Yeah, and we are working very closely with our user research team to make sure we are hitting the goals that our player needs.
It allowed us to add new functionality, to improve accessibility in a lot of areas, and on top of that, we are going to be improving the art.
Yeah, so the art update, it's a big part of this project. The UI that we have today has a lot of charm and personality, and players have been using that for 18 years. So with that in mind, we want to respect the players who really like the current UI, but do a more than take to it. Removing the clutter and giving more visibility.
She's got that
for your
legendary
gameplay.
druid shirt.
So
That's cool.
the new minimap, it looks bigger, and the health bar is also much bigger. If you look at the action bars and the bottom menus, they have less head frames, and you can really open up your gameplay, so you don't have a lot of your UI in front of you. And of course, we want to find iconic pieces from the current HUD, but we want to bring it back in a nice way. So we for sure updating the griffins. They look so nice now. And the horde, don't worry, we got you. You're gonna have your version as well. So let's talk about the edit mode.
We are putting a mode in that will let players move various HUD elements around on the screen.
So I'm able to move the mini-map, say, from the right corner all the way over to the left corner. If I want to bring my action bars from the bottom and kind of put them more in the center by my character, those are all things that I'll be able to do.
Absolutely. And each of those different components will have various sets of options that you'll be able to work with. They'll be able to save it, edit it, copy it, name it. Also, it'll remember which spec you're in. So if you're someone who jumps around a lot, as you switch, it will switch to whatever HUD layout you have for that spec.
This is an ongoing project. We're gonna keep working on it. So we really wanna hear back from you.
A project that we're all excited about, that we've been collaborating a lot on, is something that's pretty UI intensive, and that's the talent system.
It hadn't changed in a long time, like you said before, and we really started with how can we have players have more choice over what their character has?
As you level up, we give you a new spell or a new ability, something that kind of makes you stronger, but it's determined by the designers. We decide the order.
Yeah, we started looking for a system that would give players a much wider set of options.
And after looking at all those things, what we really returned back to was the idea of trees. But it's actually two trees. We have a class tree that offer different class utility, and then we have a spec tree that is focused on performing your role, whether that's damage, tank, or healing.
Can I just jump in and say that I personally am super excited about having trees come back. There's a big nostalgia hit for me.
As we said, we have these two trees because we feel like picking a specialization is a really important part of your World of Warcraft character now. And so we want to make sure that when you choose that, it kind of affects the tree in some way.
Yeah, as soon as you open your talent tree, you'll see something new. The class side will have some abilities filled out for free, just kind of starting you off in that spec you've chosen, but then you'll have your first point to spend in the class tree, which could be something related to that spec or role, or it could be something from elsewhere in the class.
There's a lot of things that we can do here, and part of that is encouraging players to perhaps make combinations that they've never really been able to see in the game before. This is an opportunity to put a lot more art and fantasy in the actual talent UI itself.
You have seen that a lot through most recent expansions, but not at the base UI.
We want you to be able to tinker with it. You know, we want you to be able to make a lot of changes at a lot of times and not necessarily have to commit. The power really is coming back to the player. It's not something we want people to feel locked into, and so one of the things that we'll be preserving is the ability to change these talents at the same kind of frequency that you do now.
Yeah, the old school players, when you see trees this time, just think, yeah, I'll go from my raid night to my arena match and figure out what I think is the best for both of those.
And that's a process we want to make really fluid. So we're building a save load feature that lets you create your build, name it, save it, and then load it up very quickly and freely.
Talents are
that's
really
great.
about the breadth of options. We've made all these different cool things over the years, but when are they at their coolest? It's when players can hold the building blocks of what can make up their class, their spec, and put them together in a way that works for them.
So these are really cool features that we've been working long and hard on, and we're very excited about them. And it's just an early preview of the things we've been doing. We can't wait to see the reaction that you have to them, and please reach out to us and let us know your thoughts on them. And next up, we're going to talk about professions and Dragonflight.
Yes, professions. Here we go. They've got to revamp this profession. They tried to before and it didn't work. This has got to be big.
I'm Joanna.
And I'm Eric, and we're going to talk about our
Don't mess
plans
this
for
up.
professions in
Please don't mess this
Dragonflight.
up.
Professions have been a staple of World of Warcraft forever, and they've seen lots of really cool incremental updates over their life. But for Dragonflight, we want to do something a bit different. We really want to rethink professions and figure out how to make them part of your identity as a player, if that's what you want.
We really want to make sure that professions feel fun and relevant across all levels of gameplay.
That brings us to our first update, something that we're calling crafting orders. If you want to have something crafted for you, but you don't have the skill or the right profession to do it for yourself, you can have it crafted through a crafting order. You can basically browse any of the recipes that can be crafted, pick the one you want for yourself, and then you include some or all of the reagents needed for the recipe, including ones that only you can get your hands on. You can find someone in person to do it right in front of you for you, or you can also go to an NPC and using an auction house-like interface, send the order out. If you're doing this, you can pick, do you want to send the order to anyone, sort of a public order, or do you want to only send it to your guild, or to a specific other player? Maybe it's a friend who will be able to craft the item really well for you.
If you are really dedicated to your craft, you're going to be the best at what you do.
One of the coolest things about this is the item you had crafted can also be soul-bound. In the past, you could only get your hands on crafted soul-bound items by having that profession yourself. Now anyone can have them crafted for them, which is really neat and really expands the number of items that we can provide that are really powerful because everyone can have them crafted through the crafting order system.
This is also really cool because it means as a crafter, you can start building your client base. People are going to come back to you to get certain items. Maybe you're the best at making it, or you always throw in a little something extra. You're also going to be leveling up your profession. It's going to be really great.
So the first time you go to craft, you're going to notice a lot of different things, but probably the biggest is the introduction of quality, both to your crafted items and your gathered reagents. Quality works in a pretty simple way. If you craft something that's a higher quality, it's just going to be better. For a piece of gear, that probably means a higher item level.
Yes.
If it's, for instance, a potion, that might mean a more powerful effect at a higher quality.
And we're doing a lot of new things in the UI. We've put a lot of work into it to make sure that the professions feel really special and unique.
And another thing you might notice in the crafting UI that's new is the introduction of stats, specifically to your professions, both crafting and gathering. And this is another sort of major input into quality. Probably the biggest source of your ability to craft items at a higher quality is through crafting specializations. We've had crafting specializations in the past, as far back as original World of Warcraft. With Dragonflight, you can go out and earn specialization points in a whole bunch of different ways. So maybe you find an old book on a bookshelf in a ruin somewhere, or a hermit in a cave who can teach you a little bit about your profession. So let's say you're a blacksmith. You might decide that first you want to become an armor smith. And the more points you spend in armor smithing, the better you're going to get at crafting all armor.
This also means that if you specialize one way, other people in your guild may specialize in a completely different path. So this means that your guild could have several top blacksmiths and everybody is providing something unique and valuable to the team, which is really cool.
Now that reminds me of another update. We're actually adding crafting tables to all the different crafting professions. We're gonna take those and we're gonna put them all in the main city of Valdrakken. And you're gonna go in there and you're gonna get to see all the different players crafting their items at their cool crafting tables.
Yeah, it means you're gonna walk into the city and you're gonna see like all these alchemists huddled over here, and you're gonna see all these blacksmiths over by the forge. There will be other players filling orders or grabbing orders. There's gonna be a whole new crafting area that's gonna make you feel really part of the world.
So you just have to go there.
Seems
to
like a much
create your
more
stuff.
lively area than it has in the past.
What I'm most excited about though is the gear. We're introducing new types of gear for every profession. And when you go to say mine a node, you're actually gonna just switch into that gear. It's gonna be really great.
You're not gonna have to carry that stuff around in your backpack anymore. There's actually gonna be dedicated slots for each of your pieces of gear. Great. But I'm a numbers guy. I love progressing. All pieces of profession gear will have those special stats that we mentioned before on them. And as you get your hands on better versions of the gear, it's really gonna help you get better at your profession.
I can't wait.
Thank you for tuning in to the Dragonflight Deep Dive.
You've heard a lot about the content and changes coming in Dragonflight, and we've got a lot more in store for you in the coming months.
Until then, we'll see you in Azeroth.
That might be it. And I think that's it. Yep. Okay, cool. So, all right. So higher quality items from FF Craft, Final Fantasy crafting tables. Yeah. And I think they needed to go that way, you know? They needed to go that route of having something more with the profession. The only thing I'm worried about is that these items that you get from professions, are they going to be more relevant? You know, like, because they tried revamping the profession system in BFA, and they're like, you're gonna have to get, you know, this and this to get like a 3-star item, but those items didn't really do anything for you because gear that you got from dungeons were just, you know, supersede them completely. That was a lot of really good stuff, wasn't it, Riftstone? I really liked it. I was like, holy crap. But yeah, let's talk about this. So let's see here. Oh, Koi, if you're still here, yeah, a lot of really good updated stuff that I think we needed. But Wrath Classic, man. Oh, yes! Yes! Oh, I'm so excited for that. I mean, we knew it was coming, but no, my God, we got it. It's ours. Oh, it's coming out this year. Guys, Burning Crusade. Benediction, Server Benediction Alliance. Get there. Let's have some fun. Emotional. Okay. 2 minutes into the cinematic, I started crying. Roofstone, that is perfectly fine. I'm going to tell you a story about crying in a second. Yeah. That's so good. I'm really happy for you. First time excited about WoW in 2 years. You know what? Let's ride that train. Let's ride this emotional high right now. It's great. I remember my first BlizzCon went to 2009, and we were standing in like the side entrance of the main area, and Chris Metzen was on stage, and I remember him. It was my first BlizzCon, and I remember him going, he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you World of Warcraft Cataclysm," and we all just freaking lost it, and I was crying. I was like, "Wah!" Just like losing it because I was so excited because WoW was so fun and I loved it, and that was a huge moment for me. So like knowing that people are excited about this and just having that emotional reaction to it, that's great. Oh, perfect. I'm so excited for you, Riston. Like that, what a great day, you know? There's a lot of changes coming. I like some of the changes that they're doing for Wrath. I didn't understand, maybe you guys caught it more than I did, but I didn't understand what they were talking about. I'm a huge crier. Corey knows I'm a huge crier, big crier, but it's just, I can't hide I wear my emotions on my sleeve, guys. It's just how I am. I'm excited about this stuff. I didn't understand what they were talking about with Group Finder, LFG in Wrath. Are they taking it away? Because that's when they introduced it. But are they saying that maybe that was a big mistake and that they're gonna take it away so that people have to talk in the communities together more? I'm okay with that. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, did I get that wrong? I'm not too sure. But Wrath is great. The talent tree system is awesome. They needed to bring that back. I feel like the talent system that they have right now is was kind of like a cheap way of just getting around it, and just kind of pushed it out of the way. And I've never been a big fan of it. I missed talent trees. Let's see what else was there. The areas are great. I was thinking that they were possibly going to be doing no leveling. There was that hint that you were just going to go straight into the end game, but I guess that was wrong. They're going to have, you know, going up to level 70. But yeah, so it was start of the downfall, so they're removing LFG. Okay, good. I think that's fine. That more reason for us to get into a really good guild to go into Northrend. Yeah, they were kind of vague about it, but if that's the case, more reason for us to get into a really good guild and just go in there and start getting a community together and get on Discord and start talking, meet people, you know? I mean, even with, you know, the pandemic still going on, a lot of people are staying inside at home still. Like, I know I am. I don't ever go out. So I work from home. All my interactions with people is on Discord. So having a class talent tree and spec talent tree both are two different trees. That's super fun. And another thing on that, what's great about it is that it's going to be harder for the elitists to find the meta. I like that. I get so taken like away from the game when they go, this is the best way to do it, and if you don't do it this way, you're not allowed to play with us. So if you make it so that the system is either impossible to find a meta or harder to find a meta, then great. That's perfect. I like that. Yeah, if you actually have a choice, it's just meta builds you follow it. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though, is that if you make it so it's harder to find the meta or longer to find the meta, it gives it more time for people to experiment and find a way that's fun for them. Because I'd rather have it be fun for everyone, saying I'm using this talent because for me, I like the animation of it, instead of people going, why aren't you using this? Because that's the best. And if you don't use that, you can't be in my group. You know, like pugs. I hate that. That is the worst. So if you make it more difficult to find a meta, I'm all for that. I can't stand that elitist crap. Centaur lore is nice. Yeah. The only problem is about centaurs is that, like, in the Barrens, they're considered dumb. Like, really stinky people and dumb and stupid. I'm surprised that they're going to be doing that. Like, is there an intelligent, race of centaurs that we don't know about? So that'll be interesting to see. Knolls too. Yeah, and actually I'm just covering Knolls right now in Westfall. We're gathering that lore right now, so it's we're probably gonna be doing that after we stop talking about this. That'll be interesting. Yeah, but that's the thing though, is that if you can have fun at the cost of 3%, but the fact is that these high-end elitist people, when they look, they inspect you and see your talents and stuff like that, and they're like, why aren't you using this? And then they can just kick you. That I have a problem with. But I wish the community would just accept that it's only gonna be like 3% if you don't use this or whatever. It's not a game breaker. I want to have fun the way I want to have fun. If I want to play Subtlety Rogue over Assassination, I should be able to play Subtlety Rogue no problem. Yeah, I hear your standpoint. Like, give me a viable, fun build that isn't meta. I think if you can find a way to make the game so that there isn't a meta, which is really hard because you got these guys, people are going to be breaking into it. They're not going to care about anything else. But like, if you go to, was it WoW Champions or something like that, you're going to find people who are breaking down the system for every single class and going, we've punched out the numbers. This is the way to go. If you can find a way to break that, amazing. I want that. I just don't think it's possible because these guys are huge mathematicians and they just know what to do to make it the best that it is. He's a sub for Arcane Legendary, but about 2%. Yeah. If you can find, I think that's good. Roofstone, that you're finding it more fun to play and it's not sacrificing too much, because who cares really? It's the people you play with, but I think that's all the more reason to get into a good guild and embrace that guild, embrace the people that you're with, because then those are the people you're going to be running things with. Those are your friends. Those are your friends. And that's what I missed from 12 years ago when I was in my guild for Wrath of the Lich King. I knew that I could get on World of Warcraft at any time of the day and there would be people on, well, we didn't have Discord at the time. We had, what was it called? Somebody help me out. What was it called? It was, not TeamSpeak. oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure one of you are gonna say it. It's like boop, you talk into it. Anyways, but you get on and you knew that you had friends there from your guild ready to go out and do stuff. There was always a friend to play with. That's why I miss being in a very dedicated guild. Not one that, you know, they're like crazy people, but you know, they want to have fun. It's like a small family. All the smart ones to the dragon. Yeah, I guess they're like, you guys are dumb. So, Ventrilo! Thank you, Draco. Ventrilo, that's what it was. I can't believe I forgot the name of it. But it was just, you saw people on Ventrilo, you're like, let's go! Let's have some fun, because that's what we had at the time. So, I see more Centaur stuff. That's better written later in calendar story. Desolate. Okay, alright. Yeah, once we get there in the quest lore, I guess, yeah, we'll see some better, you know, all that good stuff. So, what else did we see that was really cool? The Dragonflight stuff is cool. I hope that they expand on that, because I can see that getting old really quick. Like, people are like, wow, this feels different, flying and banking left and right and doing these dives and getting terminal velocity and all these things. That's cool. Yeah, I can see that dying out within a couple of hours, you know? So if they can monitor speed in a good and very immersive way, and then later on introduce games, races, dragon races between people, you know, maybe putting bets in for, well, betting would be really bad because the WoW token, you can actually technically bet real money. I don't know. Some kind of reward system. And you have these dragon races. And then if you did like a bracket system with dragon races for tournaments, that would be fun. They need to take Dragonflight and expand on it, not just make it, oh, this is cool, because it's going to get old. It's going to get old really quick. I want more from that. Let's see. I like we're going back to Azeroth. That's good. The tower, the tier tower, tower, whatever it is, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, so yes, so there's the idea that there's the like the Chromatic Dragon will be the big boss, and he's like a mix of I can pull up a picture of it. Let me see here. Chromatic Dragon. There was this picture of this dragon that had 5 heads, and every single head was like representative of the different 5 aspects and whatnot. 5-headed dragon. Let's see if that pulls up. But yeah, there's, oh, I mean, I saw it before. I just can't find a good picture of it. But yeah, if you can find it, post in Discord or something like that. But it's like this dragon that has like 5 different heads. Yeah, Tears Tower. That looks pretty cool. They said we need to reach parts of the world and the dragons are customizable. Yeah, I do like the customization of the dragons, of your mounts. And the reason why I like that is because if you embrace that, like if you embrace the customization of your legendary weapons and getting the different skins for them, it can be really fun. So if you're like going for, and I want certain pieces of armor for your mount to be like, holy crap, that person got that. Oh, that's amazing. You know, like when you saw people with Thunder Fury, like, oh, someone got Thunder Fury or the double glaives. Like, holy crap, they must be in a really good guild to get double glaives. They must have been raiding Black Temple a ton, you know? So, Chromatus, yes. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Roofstone, you're just a deep lore person. Then that's perfectly fine. That's good. You contribute so much to the channel. I really appreciate it. Like all these little, you know, bits of information and stuff like that. True WoW fan. But yeah, that's what I've heard that the final boss will be. So, but I like how they didn't really throw that out there like, I'm the jailer, you know. This is good. This is good, the way that they did it. So I'm assuming we'll see return of the Infinite Dragonflight. Tell me a little bit more about the Infinite Dragonflight. Are we talking about the Dragonflights, or is there something that we don't know about? Yeah, I heard of this sword called Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. I'm not sure if you heard about it, Koi, but that joke will never get old. But it does, but it never will. But it'll be old, but we'll always still use it. Challenge mode armor, though I do feel bad about other people can't get them anymore. So what is the challenge mode armor? Was that from Pandaria when they did challenge stuff? I didn't play much of Panda at all, really. I played very little of it, but okay, what else was there? Obviously we're gonna have raids and dungeons and stuff like that. The evil time traveling one. I've never heard about this aspect, evil time traveling one, because the only time traveling one I'm familiar with is Bronze Dragonflight. So Infinite Dragon. Oh, here, Roofstone. Infinite Dragonflight. I'm not mocking you. I'm just like, please, Roofstone, tell me. You know, is the future Bronze Dragonflight? They've gone mad and seek to change the past instead of. Okay. Okay, interesting. I've never heard of them before. That is very interesting. I really hope, oh man, I really hope time isn't really affected a lot. I mean, you start messing with time a lot in this game and it can just start falling apart, you know? Okay. Well, okay, so we've established that Wrath Classic is coming out. So that means that we're gonna finish up Westfall, the quest lore, and because it's only 3 chapters long. And last night I was actually streaming and gathering the 2nd chapter. I'm not done with the 2nd chapter, but I'm gonna get all the 2nd chapter and all the 3rd chapter done today. I may or may not stream it because I can move faster if I don't stream it, and I feel like this stream is just really fun to have it talk about, you know, just the expansion and how excited we are. And then I will probably get off later on and just get all the content for Westfall and then pump these 2 episodes out so we can get and Westfall's great. I love Westfall, but guys, we're gonna have to go to Northrend. We're gonna go to Northrend and we're gonna get the quest lore over there. And I did do a survey. Make sure you guys go and check out the survey on the community page on the channel on YouTube. I did a survey of where you would want me to start first. So Boring Tundra or Howling Fjord. And right now Howling Fjord has 62%. There's 34 votes and Boring Tundra has 38. So I might be going to Howling Fjord first, which is fine. I'm perfectly fine with that because I barely ever quested there. So when you fight with yourself, okay, so you see them fighting. The bronzes in Dragonflight and Wrath. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Interesting. See, that's the thing. When I played Wrath, I didn't read anything. I didn't care what was going on. I just wanted to level. That's why I started this channel, so I can learn lore, you know, and quest lore and all that stuff. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're gonna have some kind of time thing. You can't have. You're right, Draco. Like, you can't have an aspect themed expansion without having something to deal with time, right? If the bronze is there, they're not just gonna sit back and be like, have a bag of popcorn and be like, cool story. You know, you gotta involve them somehow. Anduin the Bronze Dragon traveling to the past and establishing the Iron Alliance. Ooh. So what is the Iron Alliance? Please tell me more. Going to end with us time traveling to retcon the last 2 expansions. You know, I've always thought that it would have been really cool if we came back from Shadowlands and we had technically died because Sargeras plunging his sword into Azeroth was a world killer and everybody died. And so BFA and Shadowlands was just a dream because we were dead. And then somehow at the end of Shadowlands, there's something that brings us back to life and we come back to Azeroth and it's actually like 20 years later and the whole world changed. But it does not look like they are changing Azeroth itself like they did in Kata. which that was a suspicion that we were going to actually have a complete revamp. So all the quests and everything, I guess we're probably not going to see that, which is fine because all of my content right now is based off of Cata lore retail. So Howling Fjord, I'm pretty excited about it too. It's a pretty area. I like it. Mop ended with Gyros traveling in time and forming the Iron Horde. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I think people would be like, no, you know. But I like where this is going. Okay. So we can say that Blizzard was like, "Hey, we done messed up. We done really messed up, and we gotta rethink everything here." I think that they have listened. I was kind of turned off when Ian was at the beginning was like, we were listening to our community and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but you listened, but you did exactly opposite of what we were saying, Like you said, oh yeah, okay, we'll do that. But then, we'll show that, that's fine. But like, it's like you did the absolute opposite of what we were saying. You gated everything we were saying that we didn't like, And so when he said that, I was like, no, you did listen to it, but you didn't do it in the time that we wanted you to do it, So I guess Cata ended with the Age of Mortals, and now the Time of the Dragon has started again. See, that's another question I have about. We'll get to that in a second. So Dragon aspects list. Try to not even decide. Then went. Yeah. Okay. We have several threats to clear up, though. We still haven't dealt with the sword. I know we haven't dealt with the sword yet. And the loss of the Lich King means the undead should be swarming south. Not necessarily, because, well, yes, no, you're right, because the Helm of Domination was ripped, and that was what Bolvar was using when he became the Lich King to control the Scourge, the undead. So how's that? Like, who's controlling him now? I mean, he's technically the Lich King, but the Helm of Domination is destroyed pretty much. So I don't know about that. Or when it was destroyed, did they just kind of lose their magic of being, walk around dead people? Who knows? Here's my question, Roofstone. From what in Day of the Dragon, they used the Soul Stone to pretty much burn down Deathwing and put him into hiding. And then at the end of Cata, the aspects take all of their power and put it into the Soul Stone to kill Deathwing. Didn't they like completely give up their powers? And if that's so, how are they getting their powers back? That's my question. I was trying the We Listen drinking game, but I think my liver's got. Jeez. Oh man. Yeah, because without the helm, the Scourge just start doing whatever they want. Yeah. Okay. I guess I just so turned off from Shadowlands, I didn't really care anymore about the story, because the quest lore in Shadowlands didn't make any sense. It was contradicting each other. It was just really hard to follow, because I didn't care for it. When I started covering Bastion, I was like, none of this actually makes sense or meshes well with each other. It was really hard. So I had to leave Shadowlands behind. It was just not fun to cover at all. I had a really hard time with it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, there's still dragons, yeah, but they're talking about the aspects. They're talking about the dragonflights in Dragonflight. So does that mean that they're aspects again, or they're just like remembering as aspects? Because that we have to, I guess this is stuff we'll find out later on. Like, they gotta have some kind of power. Alexstrasza has to have some kind of power, right? So old magic behemoth monsters. Maybe they still have some kind of, I don't know. Okay, yeah, you could always retcon it. And blew it. Give back to us. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Bastion is a mess. I still have a huge problem with, like, you have to become ascended in order to speak with the Archon, and you go and become ascended and you get your wings. There's even a animation for it, and then they're like, oh, get you over here, let me grab you by the throat and throat choke you and drag you over here. Like, why can't I just fly there myself? I got my wings, I'm ascended just like you. Makes no sense at all. Like, who was writing this crap? Hard to be negative, but oh man, I almost wish I would have never gone to Shadowlands and started covering. I would have just kept on the same path, kept covering all the starter zones like I had done before. But yeah, we'll find something restores it, but make it interesting. Make it interesting. Maybe the tower brings back, and when it opens up and takes away the concealment of the Dragonflight, the Dragon Isles, that their powers come back. I don't know. That'd be cool. Something like that. Yeah, we'll have to see in the future. Should have backed the Forsworn. Yeah. Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe they'll address. I don't think they'll address any like Scourge stuff, because that is one thing that Blizzard likes to do. They like to keep all of their expansions expansion focused and not bring in any. Maybe in a patch, they'll be like, the Scourge have like invaded the Dragon Isles. That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. Maybe there'll be like a dungeon for it or something like that. I think that'd be very interesting. But tell me, what are your other thoughts on the expansion? Is it exciting, or are you just kind of like, they promised a lot of stuff for Shadowlands and then didn't really, commit to it, or they didn't deliver? Do you feel like any of these things that they said today that they're not going to deliver on or whatnot? That's what I'm really interested in, because it's exciting. And people were excited for Shadowlands, even at BlizzCon when they announced it, and we saw the cinematic between Bolvar and Sylvanas. People were like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I remember Koi and I were actually he had gotten there late because his flight was late. And I went to go pick him up. We were in the hotel room and dropping off his stuff. And we were going to go back in the convention. And I was like, hey, they're announcing the expansion, so let's watch it here. So we pulled up on my phone, we watched it in the hotel room, and we're like, this is pretty cool. And ended up being one of the worst expansions ever. So I don't know. The Arden Wield sort of makes up for the mess of the Legion that killed Ysera. Okay. Yeah, it was a cool cinematic. Yeah, okay, cautiously optimistic is a good way of putting it. Yeah, way excited for Wrath Classic. Everyone's jumping into TBC right now. Yeah, completely everyone's jumping in. It's so much fun. That's fine, Koi. I mean, I'm sad because you're fun to raid with, especially when you're drinking. You're like really fun. I hope that someday you'll be like, hey, everyone's playing, I'm gonna go back and have some fun, because yeah, I love WoW. Even though when I'm pissed off at it, I still love it. Like, again, I've heard someone say, I think Roostone said it one time, it's like Stockholm syndrome to WoW. It's just this, you're always drawn back into it. But I'm hoping that these changes are enough to make it feel like a new game. And because they didn't talk about any aspect power or Azurite power. They even mentioned the world is healing, so there is some bleed off from BFA in the cinematic. As Alex Strauss has said, the world is healing, so we may talk about the sword. Maybe there might be some stuff there. But Koi, I hope you come back. That'd be cool. I miss playing with you. That was a lot of fun. But Wrath Classic is just going to be so much fun. I love that. High Fantasy Adventures. Yeah, me too. Just, I'll also like I mentioned before, like simple storytelling. I don't need this. The cosmos are taking over. Like that doesn't compute in my my head does not think that way, and I don't think anybody else thinks that way, you know, like understanding what the cosmos really is. It's too much, way too much. More customization, more hints at new character, because boy is the cast shrinking and player housing. Okay, yeah, tell me a bit more about that customization. Dance Studio Revival. That's funny. Yeah, that was yeah, ever since I heard that from you, Rustam, the whole Stockholm syndrome, I've used that ever since. I was like, yeah, that's so true. Like so true. Okay, no. Your drunk raids are fun because when you're actually leading the raid, you're like, dude, that's really good. Oh, yeah, okay, move over there. That's great. Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1. Everyone hit your trinket. Okay, go. Like, you're animated. Like, and that's what makes it fun. There's a part of immersion of raiding when you have a good raid leader who's communicative, who's fun, and makes you feel like you're in it. And you're not just playing the game for mechanics, but you're playing the game for immersion and fantasy and feeling like you're actually there and you are your character and you're fighting the boss and you're doing it as a team and you're building up to a goal and you're gonna fight and kill this boss to complete the goal that you set out to do. That's what made you fun. It wasn't, and your trolling was part of that, but your communication while we were actually battling, that's what made you fun. That's why I was like, I want Koi to lead every single one of my raids just like that. Even if you did it without being drunk, even better, you know, because I know it was legit. Like, either way, I mean, I don't think you need to drink to have fun and everything like that, but I loved it. So yeah, I get it. You know, there's a $15 a month to play. I'm hoping your situation gets, you know, better in the future, but you know, we can focus on today. And I mean, I heard this one story. It was this guy who was walking through the forest with his horse, and the horse communicated with him or something like that, and the guy said, I can't see the end of the forest, but the horse said, can you see your feet? He goes, yes. He goes, can you see the step in front of you? He goes, yes. He goes, you can focus on that. So take one step at a time and you'll get to the end of the forest. So yeah, I hear you, but we'll get there, Koi. If you want to come back, man, we'll definitely find a way. Yeah, standpoint, I need a break from the future stuff, the cosmos, the lasers, I want to go back to swords and shields and dragons and the classic fantasy stuff and magic, you know? That's what World of Warcraft was for me when I first started playing. So let's see, Draco. We have I have hope for this expansion. I have hope for every expansion that comes out because they sell it so well at the beginning. They always do. Shadowlands was hopeful, but then it turned out to be crap. I mean, I remember there was a lot of talk in the alpha that Torghast was great. People were like, this is so much fun, and then they ruined it. They gated it. They did all these things that just made it not fun anymore, and it never got fixed. The fun aspect of it was gone. So, oh crap. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I'm doing a I should have said hi. I'm doing a couple of experiment trial stuff for VR testing, and I had to change the date of when I'm going out to do these. They're like paid experiments, so I was like, yeah, I'm in the middle of the stream. She goes, oh my gosh, am I interrupting? I'm like, no, you're fine. So let's get back. Let's see what you guys are talking about. So we'll Shadowlands, we got a lot of new customization for everyone. Yeah, those are cool. We are gonna get the customization, which is nice. Worgen needs tails. Yeah, I'm wondering, there's always been talk about doing like a Gilneas like themed expansion or something like that. We'll see what actually happens, and maybe in the future. I've always thought that gosh, who's the leader of the Worgen? I'm so burned out about that right now. Nobody really likes him. I thought that he would actually fight against Anduin sometime and try to take over the Alliance. But I highly doubt that'll ever happen. The classic is an option, but I think I'm gonna stay away from retail. Yeah, I'm not sure if I told you, Koi, about this this add-on that Anthony and I purchased. You have to purchase it, but I will look into maybe splitting it if I can share it with people. But it's kind of like Azeroth Autopilot. There's an arrow, you just follow it, tells you where to go, and it gives you the fastest leveling experience in TBC right now. And it's so smooth. Like, oh man, I'm having so much fun just watching TV shows and movies while leveling my character. So much fun that when I hit 70 with my paladin, I'm gonna start a mage and just start leveling. And I'm gonna have multiple classes with multiple professions. And so we can do what I've now heard about is the Serenite Shuffle. So you get Serenite and then you prospect it, and then whatever you get out of there, you have 2 characters to be able to use the materials for those. Gen Greymane, thank you. Yeah, I've always thought Gen Greymane would be like, screw this, I'm taking over the Alliance. That'd been cool. So, yeah. But Classic right now, TBC is so much fun. I'm having a blast with it. It is so good. I'm probably not going to do any TBC endgame stuff. I don't want to do Black Temple. I want to just make gold so that when Wrath actually goes out, then, you know, boom, I'll have the money for the Mammoth mount, so I can have the vendor with me, and I'll have, you know, I want to get flying and stuff done too as well. So Warlords was a terrible idea from the word go. I was actually looking for faction conflict because at that time, okay, so Warlords, I should have said, hey, the stream says hi to the person I was talking to, but anyways, Warlords was special for me because that was when I went on deployment to Okinawa for 6 months, and we left on the day that it launched. So on our way to Okinawa, we were playing as much as we possibly could, and when we got to Okinawa, we had to wait like a day or two to get internet in our rooms. And oh man, like we were like, we're gonna get back in there. So all we did in Okinawa was we lifted weights in the gym, we worked, and we played World of Warcraft. That was it. We did nothing else for 6 months. So for me, WoD was fun in that way, but yeah, overall I wasn't really too happy with it. But then at that time, 2017 BlizzCon came, and I was just like, I really hope we go back to just the classic Horde versus Alliance and vice versa. I wanted that conflict, and I wanted that. And when the cinematic came out, and which I think is the best cinematic to date, we were all so pumped, and I was like, this is what we wanted. But then the whole expansion of BFA didn't even go that route. They kind of hinted that that's what it was, but then N'Zoth came in at the end, which could have been a whole expansion in itself. And I was kind of like, man, we needed to have that just normal Horde versus Alliance, you know, Alliance versus Horde, and really base it off that. And And I think they did have that, but it didn't feel like it. You know, I'm hitting this thing all the time. So yeah, and then Shadowlands just bombed. Blackwing layer loot in high def. That'd be cool. Yeah, maybe spice up the tier armor, the old tier armor, make some better renders of those. That'd be cool. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, okay, Koi, if you enjoy the leveling experience, yeah, I mean, do you enjoy the leveling experience because of the lore and reading it? Do you like that, or do you just like the feeling of leveling? I think there's two different things. Like, when I'm doing Tales of Azeroth, I enjoy reading all this stuff, and I'm not really there to play the game. I'm there to capture the lore, so I get to learn all of the quest lore. As far as the other way of just breezing through it, it's fun for me to just run around and feel like I'm leveling, like my character's going up and I'm progressing, I'm building something. I feel like there's two different ways you can go about the leveling experience. So both at the same time, or are there times where you just like to breeze through and then you just like I just love leveling up? Because that's what I'm liking about using this add-on, is that I can just get my characters where I want them to be so that I can enjoy the end game stuff at the end a lot faster. Yeah, the BFA cinematic got me excited. Yeah, it was so hype. We were freaking out in the Overwatch arena. It was so good. And then we ran into Swifty after that, and that was pretty cool. And then we got a picture with him. Yeah, the expansion did not live up to it. It was a great, like, cinematic. Oh man, I like how Blizzard has probably read from all these different, you know, articles and people who've written stuff. They're like, hey, you know, Blizzard needs to knock it out of the park on, you know, on the 19th. They need to give us something that's amazing. So yeah, I get you. It's then, you know, maybe the app isn't for you. I mean, the add-on isn't for you if you like to do both. And if you can't do one without the other, then it's like a no-go kind of thing. For me, I feel like because we only have 24 hours in a day, I feel like I'm able to multitask using this add-on. It's called Rested XP. You can go to their website and check it out. But it's nice because sometimes I don't want to read the lore, even though my channel is based off of lore. Sometimes I just want to level my characters and get to where I want to be, because there's the mechanics of the game and then there's the lore. And that's when I read old books. You know, here's the thing. If they actually came out with good book lore again, I might pick up the books again. But don't make it this money hungry kind of literature. I don't want that. I will not read Sylvanas because I feel like that's just, no, that's okay. Shadows Rising kind of sucked. Before the Storm sucked. It was not exciting to read at all. I'm reading a really good book right now. You guys are big into reading. Silverthorn, the Raymond D. Feist series. The first books are Magician Apprentice and Magician Master. This book is so good. Like, this is like a 15 series book, and I'm about halfway through. I am loving this. This is written like a movie. It's so good. So I read it at night. We talked about it before the reveal. This would be make or break. Looks like they know that too. Yeah, and they better know that. And I think they did a good job today. Especially just going Wrath Classic. Hey, we're gonna put that out too. They needed to do that, and they're not. I'm glad they're not playing the stupid card, you know. And oh man, because they have done that before. You know, Diablo Immortal, worst BlizzCon I've ever been to. That was so bad. That was a really dumb move that they did. Unless it's a dull zone, I prefer to just immerse myself in the lore. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And I think I might do that this time. Because, gosh dang it, like, I'll be honest with you guys, like, every flippin' time an expansion comes out for retail, everyone is so hyped to jump in and just get to max level. And I tried during Shadowlands, like our guild, that Koi's and I's old guild, which is pretty much disbanded now. Everyone was like, let's go, and they were just go. And I wanted to read the lore, and so I started reading the lore, but then I felt like this peer pressure that I was behind, and so it sucked. And I was like, oh, forget it. So I just started breezing through to catch up to everyone, because everyone was gonna go get to max level and, you know, start doing all the dungeons and stuff, and I was behind reading all the lore, and I hate that. So this time I think I'd rather just go through and read it and just enjoy it, you know, instead of trying to rush through. But we'll see. I did read the lore in BFA, and actually the starting zones, those 3, the story was really good, especially in Drakvar or whatever it's called. I can't remember what it was called. It's been a while. Yeah, BFA cinematic was really good. So you're talking about got to Teldrassil, like the burning of the tree when they got there? Because to me, I thought that was actually really good. And the reason why I thought it was good, because it invoked an emotion. People were pissed. If in story writing, if you evoke an emotion, whether it's happy, mad, sad, you know, melancholy, you know, any kind of deep emotion, I think you're on the right track. Not necessarily that you succeeded 100%, but that you're on the right track, because that's what storytelling is to create an emotion for your audience to feel. If you create the emotion of that's dumb, that's not really the emotion you're going for. That's not really, and that's more of a disinterest. That's not an emotion that you want to associate with storytelling. So Teldrassil being burned, it worked. It definitely worked. People were pissed, and Horde members were like pumped up. So I think it worked really well. You just power your way through. Yeah, Shadows Rising. Are you talking about the Tyrellian stuff with him and the going and using like grabbing people and like interrogating them and stuff like that? I don't know, like I felt like the ending, I guess I can just say it now because it's been out for long enough, but like the ending with Anduin like feeling the shadow and stuff like in him, I feel like that was like they needed to expand on that more. Even though we know that Arthas took over his body, it doesn't make sense that he would feel that before it happened, because there wasn't anything preluding him being possessed by Arthas, you know? I just felt like it kind of was just kind of, you know, fluff. It was a fluff novel. And so was BFA, so was Before the Storm. Although there were some characters like the goblin and the gnome, them and their little story was cute. And then when you actually saw them in game and knowing that they survived, what happened to them, that was pretty cool. I thought that was nice. It was nice. That's about it. So, okay, so you hit max level a week or so after. Okay. Okay. See, I wish I need to start doing that and having that let's calm down kind of thing, and just read the lore and everything like that. So yeah, I did enjoy the lore in BFA. Yeah, it fell apart pretty hard. I'll be honest, like the areas in Shadowlands, like all the different zones, man, I'm telling you, they didn't speak to me. And the art didn't speak to me. They look pretty, but there's something missing. There's something about it that just didn't click, you know? I don't know what that is, but it just made me go, no, I'm not digging this at all. yeah, maybe it's hard to immerse yourself in a game where you're just not feeling the connectivity with the different zones that you're going to spend a lot of time in, you know? Yeah. Yeah, Roofstone, you're a different type of player. RPG, in-depth lore, and that's great. I think we need more people like that in this society, just because, I mean, look, I'll take myself for example. There's been a long time where I didn't care about lore, and I was like, I can get all of the lore by reading books. So I bought the archive book. Has 3 books in it. I yet to read the 3rd one, I believe that's in there. But I read Day of the Dragon. I read Lord of the Clans, and I thought, oh, I can get the lore out of this, but there's a lot more. There's the quest lore. They're just really good, short stories. And this is years and years after, because at first I was just playing the game to play the game. And so if I can go, what else is there that WoW has to offer? I know there has to be somebody else out there that says, what does WoW have to offer? And it's the quests, it's the lore in the game. So there was nothing we can relate to. Nothing looks like anything we know. Yeah. Yeah, the more you get away from the original stuff, yeah, that's true. Like, you just kind of feel like, oh, this is new, but does it click? You know, does it feel like something that it hits you right here, kind of thing? Yeah, Shadowlands had nothing like that. I remember Koi and I were at BlizzCon 2019, and they had the first playthrough of Shadowlands, and we went and played what they had out there. I think it was like, you know, it felt like a zone like that didn't really ever exist. It was like a trial zone, but I would say it's Bastion, but I could be wrong. We went in there and played like 3 minutes, and we looked at each other and we were like, there's nothing new here. This is the same stuff. And we got up and left. We just left the computers because there's nothing that was connecting us to the game, even to the let's try the new Shadowlands content. It was like it's the same content but just a different skin. That's all it was. So yeah, when they break apart from the whole Warcraft feel, then yeah, nothing feels Azerothy about it, you know? That's why I think the dragon thing is a good idea. Dragons are such a symbolic thing to RPGs, and bringing that back, I'm down for it. Definitely down for it. It's gonna be great. Oh, you've been Horde? Okay, I didn't know. Yeah, I guess we don't really talk about like who's Horde, who's Alliance. so it was deflating. Okay, but that's the thing though. It created an emotion of, no, I didn't sign up for this. Like, it created an emotion of doubt. You know, doubt of, you know, I didn't sign up for this, you know, faction, you know, or this kind of group that I've been. This is not the Horde that I was part of. So it makes you question your standpoint with them, I guess. You know, like you want the Horde to be a certain way all the time because that's what you signed up for, and then they, you know, your war chief goes off and does this. Well, it makes you question your war chief. I consider that a pretty good emotion, you know, instead of just being deflating. But there were people who liked the genocide thing. I thought it did stir up an emotion. It wasn't like it didn't stir up a, oh, that was stupid. No, it caused controversy, and that's what made it good. Interesting. Shadowlands was Diablo 4 development that got repurposed. They do have a gothic theme, but it just, I don't know. Shadowlands had a lot of potential, and it just fell apart. I think we can scrap it off as that, you know? I don't ever want to go to Ouroboros ever again. So And that's crazy though. Like everyone's like, yeah, wow, and they just think wow, and they think I gotta get in the game. I love that. I love that you're getting seeing old friends. Hopefully they stay. Yeah, I've always been Alliance. Yeah. I've always been Alliance. I was like, screw the Horde. I never want to be Horde. I never want to embrace Horde ever until I read Lord of the Clans and I read the story of Thrall. That made me go, I want to make an orc shaman like right now. It was so cool. I loved that book. It was such a good book. But overall, I think the expansion has good potential. They didn't give a release date, which usually that comes later. I think that's fine. We got a lot of things that we can talk about. We know that Wrath Classic is coming out, so we're going to be heading over to Northrend to do the quest lore there after we're done with Westfall, because heck yeah, that's going to be so good. And I'm playing TBC, guys. I'm having so much fun with it. So I am going to get back to getting the quest lore done. I'm probably going to do it off stream because I can just move faster. I want to get that done as fast as possible. But is there anything else that we didn't talk about that they mentioned? Professions? Okay, what do you guys think about the order? What is the work order stuff? Do you think that's going to be a good idea? Do you think it's going to be there's going to be an exploit in it somehow? Like the one girl, she said that people will come back to you because you'll do the work, but then you'll add something extra. What does that mean? Does that mean like you'll say, I'll make this item for you and I'll throw in some gold? Oh, no, I don't know. Maybe it was some mats, just something else, or maybe an extra item, or maybe a potion. Can you do that? Can you make deals with people? So I'm excited to see what that's all about. What do you guys think? Yeah, that'd be really good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a time when you have to empty out your bank though. You know, there's a time when you go, am I really going to use this? Is this worth it? Yeah, I don't know, you know. And that's you just go back, you just get whatever you need. I think it'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you might see repeat businesses, but that really stuck though when she says you can offer something more. Because you got to have, I mean, if you're a good business partner and you're just like making stuff for people, yeah, that's great, but everyone else can make the same stuff. You got to have, there's got to be something else that you can offer that is better than the other person. Higher quality. I love that they're doing the Final Fantasy thing, the higher quality items and professions. That's huge. And I have no problem. No problem. You know what? We're not done talking yet, guys. We got more to talk about. I have no problem with them taking ideas from other games and implementing them into WoW. No problem at all. You want to make higher quality items in World of Warcraft? Absolutely. If you can fail at making those, absolutely, that's great. I want to be able to possibly lose those mats that I went and farmed for. Yeah, that's great. Just like the loading screen tips say, if you're nice, you might be invited. Yeah, okay. True. Okay, that's true. You can be yeah. So maybe there's something people are like, I just like buying from this person. It's just a feeling, you know. Yeah, that's the hard thing, Draco, is how do you balance it so where you don't feel like it's a chore trying to grind out all these things? How do you do that? You know, that's their job. That's the thing that people need to remember. That's their job, not our job to make that possible. They're the devs. You know, we say what we want, and it's their job to figure out how to do it in a fun manner. So we leave it up to them. We trust them to make it happen, you know. Oh man, that's rough. Roofstone. Oh. Oh, you mean what she said? I may be overthinking it, but this is a time to overthink things. This is what I do. Because me overthinking it makes me go, well, what? Because if I don't think of it this way, then I just go, oh, it'll just be another thing. Okay. I want to think about it and go, I would like to have this. So if she says that, it's almost becoming, to me, it's becoming WoW doctrine as far as mechanics in the game. Because if you can add something else, is that an option right now? Is that an option that they may take out in the alpha and they go, no, this isn't working for us, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna overthink things because I breathe in a lot of World of Warcraft daily. So definitely I'm gonna overthink a lot of things and hope. My highs are highs and my lows are lows. And that's how I like to live my life. I don't like to live in the middle. I like to go, this is a possibility, awesome, I'm super excited. And if it doesn't happen, I'm probably gonna be pretty sad about it. But if it happens, it was worth it. It was so worth it. It's so worth me getting excited about it and stuff like that. So yeah, sometimes I do overthink things, because it's worth it in the end. So that's just me though. Yeah, I think you're right though. The MMO genre is better if they take ideas from other games. You're right. And then they're like, yeah, Final Fantasy wouldn't be Final Fantasy if it hadn't been for WoW. They look up to it. I remember reading an article about that when Final Fantasy had its push. I'd be so there was something that we were talking about with I'm not sure if Anthony's here anymore, but we were talking about how he said that there's an open position for something classic WoW related, like an experimental position. And honestly, Blizzard needs to take a lot of ideas from Ascension. I'm not talking about classless WoW and bring that into Blizzard's like realm. You don't need to do that. But there's a lot of things from World of Warcraft Ascension that is perfect for a seasonal based WoW. WoW Ascension is season based. They did it right. The fact that it's classless is really fun because you can build your own character, and the way they have with the drawing system with the cards, and that you can prestige once you get to max level and restart and build up again. And you can level up to max level in 45 minutes if you do it right. That's super fun. But it's the thing that they have with all these different systems in Ascension that make it fast and speedy, and leveling's fun. And they just did a really good job, and adding the different like abilities you can add to your gear, that made it so that there's so many different builds of different classes you can do in the game. If they were smart, they would make Season of Mastery so much more in depth, kind of like what Ascension did, and that would bring a lot of people to the game. I would play that in a heartbeat if it was, Blizzard sponsored. You know what I kind of missed? The features trailer. So Wrath, I remember, had a really good one. Yeah, that'd be cool. Where it wasn't like didn't Cataclysm have that too, where they're like, as we like introduce the Worgen to the Alliance. Those the features trailers you're talking about? Because I remember that, and I remember how cool it was. I was like, oh, this is so cool. They actually showed it at BlizzCon 2009. I was like, this is really cool. I was really excited about it. Yeah. To talk a little bit more about the wham factor. I'm interested. So, I thought there was some wham factor in today's presentation. I thought it was really cool. I mean, the whole dragon thing. I'm optimistically. I'm optimistic about the new expansion. We'll have to just wait and see. But you know what? I think Blizzard needed this. They needed to have a good response. I'm curious to see what other streamers and other, you know, big time people are going to talk. I'm kind of hoping that this today will really spark people to start subscribing. Like you said, Roofstone, like your friends are coming back in tonight to play. Take it and run with it. You know, these are those moments that you do it, that you have fun with your friends playing WoW. And I'm hoping that, you know, like other people, like other streamers who are not playing WoW, when their community is saying, come back and play WoW, please. Like, I hope that they take it and go, maybe this is the time to transition over and have some fun in WoW. When they're known for playing WoW, you know? Not saying that there isn't, but when you get a rapid reveal of many features at once, it builds a lot of hype very suddenly. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They have done that in the past. Yeah, maybe it's just a different wave they wanted to try it. But, I don't know. I kind of miss those. They were cool. Honestly, I just miss BlizzCon. And I would love for the pandemic to kind of be gone. And we can have BlizzCon again, like a full-on BlizzCon. And I can meet all of you guys in person. I would love to be able to do that, because BlizzCon is such a blast. There's so many people. Everyone's just geeking out, and we're just having such a good time. And, you know, meeting up with people and collaborating and meeting other streamers and just meeting friends and guild members. It's so much fun. I love it. But yeah, guys, I'm optimistic about this. I love the new profession stuff. I hope that the gear that we get from professions is useful. You know, not just, oh, higher, you know, grade gear, but then, you know, you go into this dungeon and get something way better. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, I'm gonna call it now because I'm gonna go eat in an hour. I'm really hungry. Like, my workouts right now have been so intense that I'm starving all the time. I'm building up to something right now, pretty big. I'm probably gonna be doing possibly doing a bodybuilding competition next year. So I am on some serious workout routines with my trainer, dieting really hard. I'm not doing a fun cheat meal for like over like a week and a half right now. And I want to build another PC so I can do my workout streams on Twitch. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So Jaco, Roofstone, Standpoint, Koi, Anthony, and everybody else that was commenting, thank you so much for joining in today. This was a ton of fun. I'm glad we got to share it together and talk about it, about what your you know, your ideas are. I think John John Doe, what's up, man? We're just about to end. Dude, we've been talking a lot about what just happened with the expansion and Wrath Classic coming out. Dude, there's gonna be a lot going on here, man. But we're just about to wrap things up. I'm gonna go and capture all the Westfall content today, or try to at least today. I gotta do some more editing for Bajira. Maybe Bajira will come back to WoW. I mean, he's not like against WoW. He's been playing Lost Ark so much. But maybe today will spark that, hey, let's turn around and get back to WoW. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for jumping in. Yo, you weren't here? John! Today was the day, man! No, you missed it! Oh, no! John! Today was the day! The 19th, man. We've all been waiting for it. Dude, Dragonflight was announced. Wrath Classic was announced. Professions are going to be upgraded in Dragonflight. Like, there's going to be like the Final Fantasy format, which is beautiful. It's so good. They're doing that. They're changing a lot of things. We have like Dragonflight, which is kind of cool, but I hope they go a little bit more into that. There's a lot. Go back and watch it. There's a lot of good changes. It was very positive. I think we're all agreeing that it was pretty positive. So yeah, John, you missed the hype, man. That's okay. You can go watch it and we'll all be on the same page. So yeah, and customize your dragon too. get back to that dragon fantasy. Okay. I love talking to you guys so much. I gotta get off and actually work, because if I don't work, I can't stream anymore because I won't have a computer. I'll have to sell it to make ends meet. So, guys, I love you guys. You guys are great. Thank you so much for joining me today. I think this is a lot of fun. I might stream some gameplay of TBC because I'm trying to level my paladin up to max level right now, and it's just so much fun. I want to chill and hang out with you guys all the flippin' time. Okay, you guys have a fantastic day. I will catch you guys later, and let's get some WoW going. Take care.